Addressing tingling sensations experienced when touching metal boat docks involves systematic electrical troubleshooting. Several factors can contribute to this issue. Firstly, inspect the grounding system. Ensure proper ground rod is installed near each boat dock and connected to the grounding system, utilizing a copper ground wire. Verify that all electrical components, including the pole, ground fault interrupter receptacle, and dock wiring, are correctly grounded. Improper grounding can lead to stray voltage on the dock. Secondly, consider the ground fault interrupter devices. Ground fault interrupters are designed to trip when there is a current imbalance between the hot and neutral wires, typically 5 mA. Even if they are not tripping, a faulty ground fault interrupter can still allow small leakage currents to pass. Replace the ground fault interrupter receptacle or breaker on the dock to eliminate any potential faults within the device itself. Thirdly, investigate potential electrical leakage. Even if the electrical polarity and grounding appear correct, there could be a subtle electrical leakage between the dock platform and the water. Use a multimeter to check for any voltage between the dock platform and the water. Set the multimeter to measure alternating current volts. A reading significantly above 0 volts indicates an electrical fault that needs further attention. Fourthly, examine the underwater wiring. If the dock wiring is submerged in water, it is susceptible to damage or degradation over time. Inspect the underwater wiring for any cuts, cracks, or other damage that might be causing electrical leakage into the water. Damaged underwater wiring should be replaced with appropriate marine-grade cable. Fifthly, assess for external electrical interference. Electrical equipment nearby, such as generators or power lines, can sometimes create electrical interference that may induce a tingling sensation on the dock platform. Check for any nearby sources of electrical interference and attempt to eliminate or mitigate their effects. Relocating the dock power source or shielding the wiring might be necessary. To further enhance safety, consider these additional tips. Utilize a non-conductive dock platform material, such as composite decking, to minimize the likelihood of electrical contact. Install a bonding system between the dock and any metal railings or supports to ensure proper grounding and equalization of electrical potential. Regularly inspect and maintain the electrical system on the dock to proactively prevent any potential issues from arising. When inspecting the electrical connections, ensure that all connections are tight and free of corrosion. Corrosion can increase resistance and lead to voltage drops and heat buildup, potentially causing further electrical problems. Use dielectric grease on connections to prevent corrosion. If the electrical service to the dock is 240 volts, ensure that both legs of the service are properly balanced. An imbalance can cause excessive current flow on the neutral wire, which can contribute to ground faults. Verify the voltage between each leg in neutral and between both legs to confirm proper voltage levels. If the voltage readings are significantly different, investigate the source of the imbalance. When running wiring to the dock, use appropriate marine-grade cable that is designed to withstand the harsh marine environment. Marine-grade cable is typically tinned to resist corrosion and has a thicker insulation than standard electrical wire. Avoid using standard household electrical wire in wet or submerged locations. When installing ground rods, ensure that they are driven deep enough into the ground to make good contact with the earth. In some areas, multiple ground rods may be required to achieve adequate grounding resistance. Test the grounding resistance using a ground resistance tester to verify that it meets local electrical codes. Check the ampacity of the wiring used for the dock electrical system. The wire must be sized appropriately for the load it is expected to carry. Consult the National Electrical Code, specifically Table 310.15b16, to determine the appropriate wire size based on the ampacity and insulation type. Overloaded wiring can overheat and pose a fire hazard. Inspect the overcurrent protection devices, such as breakers and fuses, to ensure that they are properly sized for the circuit they protect. Oversized overcurrent protection devices will not protect the wiring from overload, while undersized devices will trip unnecessarily. Refer to the National Electrical Code Section 240.4 for guidance on selecting the appropriate overcurrent protection device. Consider installing a surge protective device at the main electrical panel to protect the dock electrical system from voltage surges caused by lightning or other events. Surge protective devices can help to prevent damage to sensitive electronic equipment connected to the dock electrical system. Ensure that all electrical boxes and enclosures used on the dock are watertight or waterproof to prevent water from entering and causing corrosion or electrical shorts. Use appropriate fittings and seals to maintain the integrity of the enclosures. Inspect the dock structure for any signs of corrosion or damage. Corroded metal parts can become electrically conductive and create a shock hazard. Repair or replace any damaged parts as needed. If the dock has metal railings or ladders that are in contact with the water, bond them to the grounding system to prevent them from becoming energized. Bonding helps to equalize the electrical potential between the metal parts and the ground, reducing the risk of electric shock. Periodically test the ground fault interrupter devices to ensure that they are functioning properly. Most ground fault interrupters have a test button that can be used to simulate a ground fault. If the ground fault interrupter does not trip when the test button is pressed, it should be replaced. Consider installing a ground fault equipment protection device at the main electrical panel to provide additional protection against ground faults. Ground fault equipment protection devices are designed to trip at lower current levels than standard ground fault interrupters, providing more sensitive protection. If the dock has underwater lighting, ensure that the lighting fixtures are designed for underwater use and are properly sealed to prevent water from entering. Underwater lighting fixtures should also be grounded to prevent electric shock. Use a qualified electrician to perform any electrical work on the dock. Electrical work can be dangerous and should only be performed by someone who is trained and experienced. A qualified electrician will be able to identify and correct any electrical problems safely and effectively. Before performing any electrical work on the dock, disconnect the power at the main electrical panel. This will help to prevent electric shock. Use a voltage tester to verify that the power is off before beginning work. When working with electrical wiring, wear appropriate personal protective equipment such as rubber gloves and safety glasses. Rubber gloves will help to protect you from electric shock, and safety glasses will protect your eyes from debris. Do not work on electrical systems in wet conditions. Water is a conductor of electricity and can increase the risk of electric shock. Wait until the area is dry before beginning work. If you are unsure about any aspect of the electrical system on the dock, consult with a qualified electrician. It is always better to be safe than sorry when it comes to electricity. Remember to follow all applicable electrical codes and regulations. Electrical codes are designed to protect people and property from electrical hazards. Contact your local electrical inspector for more information. By following these troubleshooting steps and safety precautions, you can help to ensure that the electrical system on your boat dock is safe and reliable. Regular maintenance and inspections are essential to prevent electrical problems from occurring. If you are unable to resolve the issue on your own, it is highly recommended to contact a qualified electrician to diagnose and fix the problem safely and professionally. An electrician has the tools and expertise to properly assess the situation and implement the necessary repairs, ensuring the safety of everyone using the boat docks.